Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Unbounded Artistry podcast.
We are here again.
What episode are we on now?
3.
Oh, wow. We're doing pretty good.
3 times.
Wow.
It's great. We only did 1 last year,
so we're doing really good. When you set low expectations, it's very easy to exceed them.
Yeah.
I think
it's a good thing.
Maybe that's the secret to life.
I think so.
Maybe.
I believe.
Just be like, it's just gonna be.
This is where the high bar is.
Yeah,
so the high bar is really low.
Really low. I think maybe that's the. Yeah.
Seems to be working out.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's our motto.
It's our motto. Set the bar low.
Set it real low. When you think it's low, set it lower. That way, it'll look that much more impressive when you actually exceed it. Then you'll be like, "Wow, it did really, really good."
You just gotta make it attainable.
Yeah, true.
Make an attainable goal.
True. So, we have some suggestions actually that we got from our Discord that we put into our shell of conversation.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll end up pulling one of those, or maybe one that we've already had in there. But
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
You do it this time. I pulled it last time.
Okay. So I'm not gonna look. No, I'm just gonna pick. I'm just gonna shuffle them up and grab whatever I grab. There we go. Ooh, okay. So this one is the positive and negative sides of being a streamer. And this was submitted by Odin's in our Discord.
That's a good one. You go.
I go?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should start with the negatives first and then finish with the positive.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
And on a positive note.
Yeah, and then a positive note. So the negatives of being a streamer, well, the first thing that I can think of is safety.
Mm-hmm.
Like keeping like yourself both like kind of open with your community, but also not too open, so you get yourself in trouble by people finding out like where you like live, where you work, like stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
I think keeping a healthy boundary is very hard to do in this kind of day and age because there's just so much information available everywhere. So it was kind of got to be careful of like what you post and like what you share.
Mm-hmm.
But you also want to be you. So it's very hard to define that line.
Yeah.
So that's one of the negatives that first comes to mind.
Yeah, it can be kind of scary because you hear about people getting like swatted and like the like people breaking into your like streamers' houses. It's not just streamers, but like just like influencers or you know whatever, like YouTube people and stuff like that. When you're kind of like more attached to your community, then like the risk is higher. So it's kind of scary to think about. I'm probably not as careful as you are. Like you're always very like make sure like you're not really like revealing too much or you're not being too specific about stuff, or like when we're shooting videos outdoors or like pictures and stuff, like we're not like doing it in a way that's going to reveal like a specific location of where we are. So
yeah, I think the thing to kind of like remember is like even like little things and like can give away like large pieces of information.
yeah.
Like there's been people that have posted like, you know, pictures like online and like in the background just like sitting like on a table is like their credit card or something like that. It's like you have to be like look at like the whole photo of like what you're releasing and stuff like that, because sometimes like stuff like that just sneaks in and
yeah, or
before
like
you know
landmarks and
yeah
signs and stuff too. So yeah. So
like there's been streamers that like we kind of watch on a regular that have been like, one of them is like Dr. Disrespect. He's actually been like, people shot at his house, and from what I understand, it wasn't actually like a real gun. It was more like a BB gun, but still,
That's
like,
terrifying,
it's
though.
terrifying because he was like midstream and he heard like glass shatter because someone shot at his house. Like, to me, like, that's totally unacceptable. Like, that should never happen. But like, that's kind of a risk you take when you're streaming or being like a personality that's online and
Yeah.
in like the limelight, sort of.
Yeah. Like the whole like swatting thing. Like I've seen videos of people getting swatted. Can you explain that? You probably can explain it better than I am.
So basically, what these people do is they somehow figure out where like a streamer lives, and then they'll call into the authorities and they'll say like some really horrible stuff is going on there, and then the SWAT team shows up and the streamer's like not expecting it at all, and that stuff can go really wrong really fast. Like when the SWAT team arrives, and it's very dangerous for both sides.
Yeah. I think I remember watching the H3 podcast, and that happened to them a couple of times, and they ended up moving. But like I think they were talking about like one of the times like the police came to their house and their like little dog got out and stuff. Like I can't imagine like if something happened to my dog because of somebody just pulling like a really like mean prank. You know what I mean? Like it can really impact like a lot.
Yeah.
And they have like a new little baby and stuff, so I don't know, that's just really scary. Yeah. Like people are like have malicious intentions. You never know.
Yeah, so it's always a good idea to kind of take extra steps to be careful about any sort of those little details getting out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest negative, I would say.
Yeah.
I think for me, like another negative is just when there's like other stuff going on in like life, feeling like an obligation to stream, and just like I don't know, sometimes it can affect your health in certain ways or your like mental health in certain ways because you feel like you're letting people down by not doing it, and like you don't necessarily take care of yourself the best kind of way. There's just like a lot of like pressure, I think, sometimes with streaming.
Yeah, it can definitely take a mental toll. Like especially the way that like algorithms work and stuff like that, at least for like if you're doing YouTube videos and stuff like that as well. Like the more you upload and the more consistent you are, the higher up you'll place in like the search results. So a lot of people end up doing like videos like every day, and that like unless you have a team around you, like that's just overwhelming for like a single individual or a couple people to do.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people realize like how much work it is. Like you have to, yes, put the content together and shoot the video, but like we've talked about this before, like sometimes like you'll watch a video and you don't realize like what goes into it, but like because we've done them, like we know, like we're like, oh, like you left your camera here so you could get this shot, and then you had to like walk away so you could get the shot, and then you're going to go back and pick up your camera, and then you have to splice everything together so it's seamless, and then like all the editing and like just it's a lot. It's a lot of work, and then for somebody to have to do that every single day, I don't know how I would do that.
Yeah, like unless you have a team,
crazy.
Like you're gonna burn out super fast, and that's what happens is people get burnt out.
Yeah, and then especially like if you're like putting a lot of work into something and then people are like not receptive to it, or they're like real negative about it, and then I think like you kind of some streamers or like creators will kind of put themselves in a box, so they'll like make like one type of content and it does really well, so they do that a lot, but then if they decide like, oh, I want to try something different, their audience or like their core audience doesn't like it, so they feel kind of trapped in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like that applies to us personally, but it's definitely a negative for some people.
Yeah, because it's easy to just always go by whatever is performing the best and just trying to repeat that over and over again because you're looking to get like that result plus some. So it's very easy to fall in that trap. But I think we try to have a healthy variety of things we do. And
Mhm.
we're always looking to mix it up too. So
I don't really care to do stuff that I don't actually want to do. Like I'm not going to do something just to jump on a trend or
oh
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Like
definitely not.
I only want to do things that I enjoy.
Yeah, otherwise you're just
What's
doing
the point?
something that you
Yeah.
don't enjoy.
Yeah.
But
It's funny because I've even noticed um like people that we follow, um mostly like YouTube, because like they have like the what are they called? Like the thumbnails?
mhm.
Like I've noticed like somebody will upload something and then I'll go back to look and they change the thumbnail because maybe it wasn't performing as well and stuff like that. And it's just
Yeah,
like interesting to see
yeah.
people do that.
Even the titles, like titles play a big role too.
Hmm.
Like we've seen videos labeled like one thing and then you come back and it's labeled something else the next day.
Yeah, because it didn't perform as well, or they
Yeah,
needed something more eye catching or something. So it's very interesting.
it is.
um, I don't know what else negative.
um Scheduling. That's another big one that's kind of a negative, is you want to try to always be consistent with like when you stream and stuff like that, because it makes it easier for your audience to know when you're going to be live. And even Twitch has like their whole schedule part of like your profile now.
Yeah,
But in reality, like it's just so much like that you can't control, and it's very hard to dedicate that time slot, because like you feel like every time you do something just kind of comes up and you're like, I don't like, can't make this one.
yeah. Or if you're not feeling well or whatever, because it's all live, so it's not
Yeah,
like you can pre-record something and have like a backlog. It doesn't work the same as like YouTube. Um, so that can be hard. And then like I think it's easier for people that they're kind of doing it full time, or like their job isn't as demanding. But if you're working like a full-time job and like sometimes like you have to work longer hours, or you have like a big project or something, like, or you're just really tired after you had a really hard day, it's hard to just like pick up and just be like, okay, it's like a second job. It's hard.
yeah, like
People
I
that have kids, like I don't know
yeah,
how they do that. I'm like, oh my god.
yeah, if we were able to treat it like a full-time job, it would be so much easier, because then you could just do like the 8 to 4 or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's much more difficult when it's like after your day job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, schedule's definitely a tough one. There was another one I was gonna say, but I forget what. Oh, um, if you don't have a thick skin, sometimes streaming can be really hard.
Oh yeah,
Because if you get like a lot of trolls or griefers and stuff like that, and they like just make like really like negative comments, and usually like if you're a smaller streamer and you're just starting out, you don't have like moderators to help you out, or you have mods and they're not there all the time, so it's kind of like just trying to not take things personally and like control it so that like it doesn't affect like the rest of the people that are in your chat room and things like that. And that part can be a little rough.
yeah. It's also like, if people want to give like a criticism, like it's one thing like to like kind of help a streamer and try to like improve what they're doing, but it's also very easy to come across as very like demanding and like
Yeah.
trying to take over the stream. So it's kind of a balance like to kind of convey that.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's straight up trolls, which
Yeah.
you just want to get rid of. You don't even deal with them, just ban them.
Yeah. It's hard to like know sometimes what the person's intentions are.
Yeah,
Especially like if you're new. There's like been people that are like, you shouldn't like let this person say this, or you shouldn't let this person say that, and I'm like, well, I didn't realize like what they were doing, kind of a thing. So that can be challenging. And then just like people that are just straight up like rude, like that are just like, oh, you're terrible, or they're just like saying like derogatory things towards you and things like that. Some people are very sensitive, and that can like really get, and you don't know what that person's like personal life is like, so you know, I don't know. It's just mean. Sometimes people are just really mean.
yeah. Like whenever those kind of people come across, like the ones that are clearly just like trolls, like it's best to just ban them and then not even mention anything about it. Just try to ignore it and move on.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you start to give them the attention, that's when they start to like, hey, you know, this channel is the one that we should all go to, because it's like there's actual discords of these kind of trolls, and they look for channels, and then they'll all swarm. So
they want the reaction.
yeah, they want to get the reaction, and as soon as they get it, they're like, hey, like they just pass the word along, hey, you should check out this channel because this guy,
so
this guy or this girl or whoever is getting all worked up over it, and it's just like,
yeah,
it's better just to ban and move on.
Yeah, I definitely try to ignore it, but like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes that stuff gets to me, but I don't show it. Like, I'll like talk about it after, like, but I'm not gonna be like give them what they want, you know?
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, that can definitely be hard. I don't know. What else? Am I missing anything?
I think it also, like what you were saying about like the trends, like it can also be kind of like exhausting to see like what is the most popular category and like wanting to try to get a piece of that. I guess like you always feel like you should be doing whatever is like the most popular thing, like some like what was it, like Among Us had like over 1 million people watching at one point. Cyberpunk had over 1 million people watching.
Yeah.
And like these kind of trends just kind of follow whatever game is most popular or category is most popular. Like Rust was over 1 million. And like
I still don't understand.
yeah, and like
happened with Rust.
You see like an influx of people starting to stream those because they're like, this is where all the viewers are, and it's just, it can be kind of exhausting to be like trying to keep up with that stuff. So we don't really do that. But that's just a negative that kind of does exist, is always wanting to be like on the next game that's going to be like the one that gets the most views.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't make sense to even do that if you're smaller, just because everybody's going to be watching like the big streamers doing it. So it's like, why are you wasting your time? Kind of, I don't know.
Because they want to be like the next ninja, like the one that you know, just get associated with that game.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's what the draw is. They're like, you know, there's this many people watching.
Yeah, I mean, like with like the Among Us, like we started playing that, but we've never streamed it. We've just played it like with our community, which was really fun.
Yeah,
but like, I'm just not interested. Like, if I'm gonna play something, like I'm gonna play something that I actually want to play.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want to play it, but like, it just doesn't make sense to stream it sometimes to me. I don't know.
But
what
other negatives.
I think that sometimes like there can be external pressure to like get bigger, if that makes any sense. It sounds weird, but like, I don't know. I guess like just like some people will like say, oh, you should do this because this is going to make you more popular, or you should do this because it's going to get you more views, or like people that are trying to help, but they're like kind of pushing you to do things outside of like what you want to be doing as a streamer. That can get kind of frustrating. And like just like the whole like trend stuff, or like, I don't know, the gimmicks and things like that, and like people want you to have like a gimmick, and I'm just like, no. I just don't care. Not that I don't care, but like it's just not me. Like I don't want to feel pressure to like have a thing. I don't know. Does this make sense? I don't know.
I get where you're going with it. It's just like some people have that, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like they have like something that they're known for.
Yeah.
And it's like something that's usually kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of like a meme, basically. They want their own personalized meme for their community. And yeah. It's just not, well, it works for some people. I don't think that's a route that I want to go down.
No. Like I don't want to be a meme. It's just not.
I mean, I'll take being a meme, I guess. Like if it comes across, like some of the memes are good. I don't know. But I mean, like I'm not gonna do like a meme-ish thing, I guess.
Yeah, like I guess I don't want to do something outside of like if something I do like naturally becomes a meme, fine. But like I'm not gonna like purposely go out and do some kind of like weird thing just to get more views. Like I don't know. It just feels disingenuous to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, it's just like a balance of like what you want to do. And like they're like, well, you'll get the views faster if you do this, or like you'll get more followers if you do this. And it's like, okay, but like to me, it's not worth having more numbers if it's not something that I want to be doing or like that is genuine. It just annoys me.
Yeah, because eventually you're probably gonna get sick of whatever that thing is, and
Yeah.
you're gonna have to keep doing it because people expect it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and then that kind of also it's like it's just sometimes it can be absolutely kind of really cringy too to kind of watch. Like sometimes you pop in like a random channel and it's just like, what is this person doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Twitch, so you know, you get a
little
wide
bit of everything.
Yeah, you get a wide variety.
Yeah. I think that's about it for
No,
the negative.
I got a couple more.
Oh, you got more?
I got
okay.
more.
He's got more negatives. Okay.
The other thing that is a negative is it's very easy to get in the trap where you compare yourself to other people, especially people that, you know, are regulars in your channel or you like know in real life or friends with online. It's very easy to see like, what are they doing that I'm not, and like what can I do to like get numbers like them. It's very hard to kind of put that aside and just kind of do it for just doing it. But that's something that people have to do.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. I think a lot of people get discouraged too if they're just like, well, I'm like, you know, I'm doing basically the same thing this person's doing, and they have like X number of views, and I don't have this many. Like you just feel like some people just give up, like they don't want to continue because they think that there's something personally wrong with them, and I don't think that's necessarily the case. You have an audience, you just haven't found them yet. So I don't know. I think like once you start building even just like a handful of people, then you start to feel a little bit better, because like I know for me, like I don't have a ton of viewers, but like the people that come and hang out like are great. Like it's just like a really great community. It's like people that like
Tealfish fam.
Tealfish fam.
Represent.
It's just like nice to see like when like a familiar name like pops up in your chat, and then like you know their background, they know your background, and like you connect on a different level. It's just really nice. Like I don't really care about the little number ticker on the bottom that says like you have this many viewers. Like I guess it's just me. Some people really like care about that. Like for me, I don't care. If anything, like the number makes me nervous and freak out. Like people, like it's funny because like the people in my community are like, did you know how many viewers you had? We didn't say anything because we knew you'd freak out. Like if I get a big rate or something, I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna cry because I'm nervous. I prefer having a smaller community, and it sounds like that's just lip service, but it's really not. Like I really like where I can actually like have a conversation with people in the chat. Like I don't know how some of the larger streamers do it, to be honest. Like, well, it's crazy.
Yeah, like once people reach a certain size, well, with the exception of a few people that we watch, it's kind of more they do their own thing and they rarely pay attention to like the chat.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, I don't know how you would possibly pay attention at that point where you're getting like 10,000 viewers a stream. Like like I feel like at that point it's almost impossible.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like some do really try to make like a good effort to it, that have like a larger viewership, where they'll like put their stream on like slow mode, and then they'll go back and they'll like go through the chat and actually like address what people are saying and stuff like that, and they take the time out to do that, which is really nice. It's just, I don't know, it just seems really difficult. Like I feel like even if I have like more than usual but not like a ton of people, I have a hard time following the chat. like I'm just like, I don't know, I like being a baby streamer. I don't think I could deal with like I don't know, it's just hard. Like I think the thing about Twitch that I like so much is having like that personal connection with people. Like I prefer having that than I don't know, like a ton of views.
Yeah.
That's just me though. But yeah. But yeah, it can definitely be discouraging for some people. I just personally don't care.
Yeah, like I do it just because I like to do it. Like I don't expect anything, but the people that do come by, I super appreciate, and we really love the community that we have behind us.
Yeah, they're pretty great. Pretty awesome.
The only other negative I can think of is like the whole murkiness with like the DMCA and copyright stuff that's kind of been lurking around like the past year-ish.
That's stressful.
Yeah, because it's like on one hand it's like everybody else is like doing these things, and it's so easy to get caught up in doing it because you're like, oh, this person's doing it, so it's fine, but in reality is like they shouldn't be doing it. So it's very hard to navigate and figure out what is expected and the actual like terms of service.
Yeah. And like it's not always very clear either. I don't know. It's scary because like some of the stuff, like I do a lot of music streaming, and like I play a ton of original music. So like if it came down to it and they were like, you can't do covers anymore, I'd be like, I don't really care. Like you do mostly originals anyway.
Yeah.
But I like playing covers for people and like learning stuff. So like it's kind of like in this weird space where I'm like, is a live cover okay? Is a live cover okay if it's only live? And like, if you have a VOD of it, then you're in trouble. Because I'm making all the music myself. I know you can't really play like a karaoke track kind of thing. But if you're making the music yourself, like, where's the line? And I like had this issue before on YouTube because I used to do covers of songs and post them on YouTube. And then I was like, I don't know if this is okay. So I pulled all of my covers off of YouTube. There's still people that do it. That doesn't mean it's okay though.
Yeah.
So it's just confusing. Like I'm like, am I like cutting myself short because I'm like not putting these covers up, or am I like being proactive? I don't know. Like I really don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just better to play it safe than to try to risk it though, because I mean the consequences could be really bad.
It could ruin your career.
Yeah.
Depending on like what kind of content you make and stuff like that. And then they were like, there's just like weird stuff with even playing games now.
Yeah, because people were, I don't know like how legit these claims were, but people were saying like people are getting banned because of like a random sound effect in the game or something like that was playing, and that sound was like copyright claimed by somebody, and it's just kind of really weird.
It's a very strange landscape. I tend to turn the music off during games anyway because it's just annoying.
Yeah, any game that has like a licensed soundtrack, like I'll definitely turn that off.
Yeah. It just like adds like a level of like stress that shouldn't really be there. If you're just like gonna play a game to stream, you shouldn't be worried about what sound effects are playing or like what music is playing in the background. And like you can turn off some of the in-game music, but then there's certain cutscenes where the music is just in there and like you can't shut it off. So like what do you do for those?
Yeah, that's why I was hoping Twitch would put together like a list of like games that are safe to stream or games that are okay if you do this. Like it would just make it so much easier for the community if we had like some more visibility, because they're the ones that have like the connections with all these publishers and developers. Like to expect like a single streamer to be able to reach out to all these publishers and say, hey, is this game okay to stream? Like you'll never hear back from like 90% of them. So
I think they were saying that there's like something attached to the game where you can read and see like, I don't know if it's fine to stream or whatever, but like,
yeah, it's like the end user license agreement or something. But
yeah, something like that. But like, I just feel like Twitch as a company, like the only reason you exist is because of the people that are streaming on your platform. Like just do us a solid and just put it together.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why it's such an issue, but so I guess another negative would be just dealing with like whatever platform you're streaming on like whatever issues they're having or they're going through. Like a lot of people made like a huge like, how do I say this? Like basically their whole following and like their whole like blow up on Twitch was because they were doing Twitch sings. and then Twitch things like got taken away from everybody, and they had to kind of revamp like what they're doing, um, which is super stressful. Like I guess it was just because they didn't want to pay for the license for the songs that were in the game. I don't really fully understand what happened with that, but like a lot of the negatives or like the stress that streamers have is because of how their platform is handling certain things. That can be really stressful. Just like with the DMCA stuff, and like not just that, but like the ads and stuff like that
Oh
too.
yeah, like the whole ad thing. Yeah.
It's like ridiculous.
Yeah. The more flexibility they give like the creators to do these things, I feel like the better off the platform will be in the long term.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like I know with YouTube, they started running ads on channels that aren't even partnered. So that's ridiculous in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because not even, I don't even know, it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago is when they changed like the requirements and they kicked a whole bunch of people off of the platform
That were already partnered.
yeah, that were already partnered, and now all of a sudden those channels are fine to get ads again, but just they don't, the creators don't get any of it. So the platforms are the ones that control a lot of this, and you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. That's really frustrating. So I guess there's a lot of negatives.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like when you start to get into it, yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of go against what you want to do.
I don't like that they force you. Like I understand that they need to make revenue, and like a lot of their revenue comes from the ads, but like I don't think that they should be forcing people to run ads. Like if you don't want to run ads and you want to make your revenue just from your community, they're still going to get a cut of that. Like why are they forcing people to run it? Like I don't know.
Yeah, you would think like a company like Twitch could come up with way better ways to incentivize and also earn money. Like, why does it have to come down to ads for everything?
Yeah, like even like the like if they needed to have an ad, like don't make it like a mid-roll ad or whatever it is, or an ad before the thing. Like do like a little banner or something that's not going to interfere with you being able to watch the streamer. Like I don't know.
Yeah, mid-rolls are the worst. Like I hate when I come across a channel and then you're just starting to watch something and then a mid-roll hits and then you're like, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah.
You're like, thanks.
Okay.
It's like you ruined what I wanted to watch. No, I don't know what's going on. Or
and like I know even for me, like I'll like click on, and like even like the videos that start like right at the beginning, I'll be like, okay, I just wanted to see something really quick, and then an ad rolls and then I just back out, and then I'm like, okay, that person could have had me as a viewer, and like I just backed out of it.
Yeah.
Because of the ad. So that's annoying. Like even like our New Year's fireworks had the ads in it. Like what is happening? What was it? It was like a car
Kia.
ad.
So the ball drop in New York City, it was like a Kia ad behind it, like and featured in it. And I was like, is this real life?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so classy. It's so classy. But I mean, kind of sums up the capitalism in the US, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, other countries, it's like a celebration, and here it's just like, here, we're gonna sell you this car. Happy New Year.
With our terrible firework display.
Yeah, it's so pitiful. But hey, you know.
It's so bad. Oh man. Well, yeah.
Fun stuff.
Very fun. Yeah, I guess I think there's negatives to everything, but like, yeah, those are the big ones, I think.
Yeah. That's kind of all the ones I had.
Yeah. Okay, now go positive.
Positives. All right. Well, for one, you get to do things that you love to do. And you get to do that in front of an audience. And it's kind of very it's very, what's the word I'm trying to look for?
Encouraging?
Yeah, that'll work. It's very like encouraging to have like people like watching you and like, you know, trying to help you out or just like commenting on like, oh man, that was awesome, or like it's just really an experience that really didn't exist until like pretty recent in terms of our age.
Yeah. um yeah, I would agree with that. Like I think it's nice to have like encouragement from people, and like it's, I guess, validation too. Like it's just validating to like have people like enjoy what you're doing, and then you're like, oh, okay, I guess I am pretty good at this. Or, you know, I don't know, it's just, it's a nice feeling that like people will give up their valuable time to like spend time with you because they like what you're doing. That's just really nice. It's a good
Yeah, it's
feeling.
like they could be doing like a million other things, but they're there in your channel, just like hanging out and
Yeah,
watching what you're doing.
I think that's why I don't care about the number. Like, if there's anybody there, if there's one person there that's like, they have so many options. Like, Twitch is like full of people, but they made
Yeah, there's
that
so many.
decision to like come and hang out at my stream, and they're like giving their time to hang out with me. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you. Like, that's so nice. I still don't understand why people hang out with me, but it makes me happy when they do.
you dork.
It's just really nice. And I think like streaming just kind of gave a lot of people an opportunity to do something that they wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to do. Like I know for me, especially like with the music and stuff, like I'm not gonna go out to like a bar and play. And like um even before like the pandemic stuff and everything, I'm just super shy. Like I don't know if people have noticed, but like I'm just like a shy person. Like
You
I
used
guess
to be a freaking rock star. What are you talking about? You used to be in a band.
it's different when you're in a band. It's different when you're in a band, cuz like even like when I was in the band, like I would play the guitar and I would sing, but I wouldn't stand up in the front like, oh, the guitar player and the singer is like in the front, and I'd be like, nah, I'm going to stand by the bass player. Or like by the drummer, like cuz I was like I don't want to be like front and center. And it was different because it was like my brother and our friends, like we were just like hanging out, and we would play in these like really like divey places, and half the time people were not like even paying attention to us. So that was different. There was like a couple of times where I went and tried to do like open mics and like did like solo kind of performances, and I was so nervous. Like I was like, I can't do this. Like it's so hard. I think it's so much easier to, for people that are like really shy, to like be able to perform and do like what they enjoy doing, like in the privacy of their own home, and like it doesn't feel as intimidating.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I think it's just easier, even though it does get intimidating. Like when you do see the number going up, and I'm like, oh my god, there's a lot of people like watching now. I'm freaking out. Like that still like makes me super nervous. Um, but like I feel like it gave an opportunity for people to be able to do stuff, like not just the music, but like people that do art, and then like you're showing off your art, and like maybe you wouldn't be discovered if you hadn't had a platform like that. Or people that are doing like film, or like they're doing like videography, or they're doing photography and stuff. Like it just gives you like the way to reach an audience that was so difficult, I think, before. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can be a lot more like personal with like your audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a separate kind of category. Like when you think of like famous people, like you feel like they're really hard to reach out to and like, you know, actually be like, hey, like what's going on? And you'll never like never get an answer. But like some of these big streamers, like they'll be like, you know, chatting with people on like Twitter or whatever. It's just like it's like a totally different like community.
Yeah. Like they're more accessible.
Yeah, yeah, a lot more accessible.
Yeah. It's just cool to like be able to do something that you really love, and like have the capability like to reach an audience you otherwise may never have reached. Because like even for us, like for like basically Tealfish Studio is basically like a design business. Like we do like design work, but like now we were able to kind of branch out to all the other creative things that we like to do. And then like it's helped us like with our design business, because like people are like, oh, you do design too, so like cool, can you do this for me, or we were looking for a designer or whatever. um it's just, it gives you a lot more opportunities, it opens a lot of doors, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. um it actually helped me get my job, which was cool. Because we started doing like the YouTube videos and stuff like that. So like my current job does a lot of video work, and I was like, oh, look it, I know how to use these Adobe programs, and these are some of the videos that we've made and stuff. And it just like builds on, like, if you're a creative person, like your portfolio. And it's like, oh, look at, I can do that. Like maybe I haven't worked on a huge film, but like here's a film that I've done for my YouTube channel or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of opportunity to work on like different things that you wouldn't normally work on,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of hone those skills.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Yeah, because you like, and just because we're like on Twitch, like it means we have to like design everything. Like you design like the emotes, you do like the little category like header banner things, you do like your whole like overlay, and then like you, if you put anything on YouTube, you have to do the video editing, and then you have to do like any kind of like After Effects work if you're going to have text in there or anything. And then if you want to add music, you're probably going to either license it from like one of these places, or you're going to make your own. And so it's like you get to do all these different things that you don't really get to do in your normal day to day.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty nice. And like even like with the podcast, like I get to edit audio, and like I don't know, it's just like it opens like a lot of doors to different opportunities, like outside of like just like your streaming or your YouTube channel and stuff, like for like actual jobs. Like it's pretty nice.
Yeah, they're actually transferable skills.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
So that's really neat. I don't know. What else?
Positives. I think the community is definitely a positive. Like I love like the community game nights that we put together. Like those are always so much fun.
Yeah.
And like people get to come hang out, and we just get to basically figure out who the imposter is. Or we get to fight ghosts. It's just like, it's really fun.
Yeah. It's just like nice to kind of build friendships with people.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite part of Twitch, to be honest. Like just like the relationships that you forge with people. It's really nice.
Yeah. A lot of good people out there.
Mm-hmm. Just like, and they're like so supportive. Like it's like crazy. If you're not a troll, you're super supportive.
Yeah. That's very true.
We have to have a longer positives list than the negatives, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what else?
The fact that we get to play video games.
Yeah.
That's always a positive.
That is a positive.
We get to do things that we really like play video games. We get to make music. We get to do art.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that makes you feel good.
Yeah. I will say, like, Twitch kind of changed a lot of stuff for me, because like I had stopped doing music completely for like 5 years, and like it just kind of like opened up doors for me to like start doing it again. Like I've written so many new songs since I like restarted doing music, and like it's just, and like even just like the encouragement to like try to make, or like the, what's the word I'm looking for? The motivation maybe to like try to make stuff sound better. So like I got a looper, so I've been like doing like loops, and then just like different equipment, and like figuring out like more stuff with like audio equipment and things like that. I still want to make recordings of my music, but I'm very like picky, and I'm kind of like a perfectionist, and I'm like, that doesn't sound good enough. I can't figure out how to make it sound good yet. But it's just like starting to like learn new things, I think is really, that's always been a fun thing for me, is like learning new stuff. And you have to learn a lot of new stuff to be a streamer. Like,
Yeah,
to
especially
make
if we
stuff
want to
look good.
do, especially if we want to get into like any kind of like audio equipment. Like it took us so long to figure out, and then we're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
But I think that's the other thing that's kind of a positive is like it always like as you become like a streamer, you always want to push to do better and offer like better quality or better audio quality, picture quality, like or like better sounding stuff for like her guitar or music kind of thing. It's just like you always want to push to like better your stream, which also could be a negative too, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's just something that I think comes with streaming is like you always want to try to present like it in the best light.
Yeah. Like it can get costly, but like I think you can kind of slowly build your stream up. Like you can kind of, you don't want to like just jump into like buying a ton of equipment that you don't know what to do. Like I don't like to buy something new if I don't know what the heck I'm doing with it yet. Um like when I got the audio interface, I was like, I think I kind of know what to do with this, but it took me forever to like figure out how to actually get it to work right. And then I was like, okay, now I got this. Now what do I want to do? And then like the looper. And then I was like, okay, how do I get the looper to work? Still working on that. I think like I got most of it. Like I've been able to make some pretty like cool loops on like some original songs, which was really cool and fun. There's still a lot to learn, but like it's really fun to like learn like how to do new stuff. I like it.
And technology is always changing, so it's always gonna be keeping you on your toes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's craziness, but it's fun. And then like learning from other people, like recently, like for the longest time I was having issues with like audio only coming out of like one ear, and people are like, the sound is all on the left side. They're like, oh, now the sound's all on the right side, and I'm like, what is happening? And then somebody was like, oh, it's like a setting in OBS, like a different streamer like gave me some tips, and I was like, try this, and it worked, and I was like, oh my god,
That's awesome.
like a year later.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it takes a while to figure out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, but like, yeah, building the community is really fun, and like hanging out on other people's like streams and communities, and like getting to know other creators. I feel like most of the people we hang out with are like other creators, which is cool.
it's a tight knit group.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Try to think of something else that's a positive.
It's bad if the negative list is that excessive and the positives is
I think in the weight of things, though, the positives are a lot higher. Like
Yeah.
if you were to weight them, like the negatives, there might be a lot, but they're not like detrimental. Like
Yeah.
they're just like little nitpicky things that kind of are there. Try to think here. Got anything?
I do, but I don't want to keep talking. I want you to talk. You gotta think of something else.
Yeah, I'm trying. I think you just gotta go again.
You gonna keep thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna think. Maybe whatever you say will spark something.
One of the cool things that I've really enjoyed doing is charity streams. I've gotten to get involved in like a bunch of charity streams since starting Twitch, and it's just like really nice. Like it's just like it's nice to like get involved and like kind of raise money for like a good cause and stuff like that, and like it just makes you feel good. Like that's been really fun. I've really enjoyed doing that, so I think that's something that I definitely want to continue doing. Yeah, like just like being able to use like a talent that I have to like give back is really nice. Like to find a different way to use like your skills.
Yeah, you do like the saving music live. You've done that a couple times, and then the Catterday stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just I like it. I like doing it.
Yeah, it's always for a good cause. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. And I'm never like one to like want to ask for like donations or like tips or whatever for myself, but if it's for a good cause, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on. We did one for St. Jude's hospital, and like people were like, cancel cancer. I was like, I love it, cancel cancer.
Yeah, that's the one thing that should get canceled.
Yeah. So it was really good. It's nice to see like people like show up and like help.
Yeah, support like those causes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like such a like positive thing in a world of really negative things. Like lately, like it's really nice. So that's my positive.
It's a good one. That's a very good one. I don't think I can top that. I haven't done anything like for charity.
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm sure I know they do have gaming ones, but I don't know how to
get involved with those.
Yeah, I haven't really found that kind of niche, I guess, with the gaming side of things. But
I think it's a little easier with the music stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the music is a lot like more of a close knit I can't talk. A close knit group of like people.
Yeah. I think that, and then like the art community. We haven't really gotten to know a ton of people with the art stuff yet, but be coming down the line.
Yeah, we'll kind of work our way over there and see what's happening.
Just got to be more positive.
I'm sure there are, but my brain just can't think of anything right now.
I feel like, I don't know, like mostly it's just being able to do what we love, the people.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, like if you were to weight the positives, they're a lot bigger than the negatives. Like there are more negatives that we talked about, but they're like they don't take up as much.
Yeah. That is true. I would agree.
Yeah. So they offset.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
But I'm sure there are more positives, but we just can't kind of think of them. Like we didn't know what topic was going to get pulled, so we couldn't prepare it all.
I like that though.
Yeah,
I like
so
that it's very like
just on the fly.
Yeah.
You get what you get. Sorry in advance or post advanced. Whatever. Sorry in the past.
Sorry in the past.
Sorry in the future. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess either one will work.
Trying to think of what else. I mean, I feel like streaming specifically has helped us build other stuff. Like we were doing the YouTube thing way before. We were doing the podcast way before. But I feel like the streaming specifically has helped us like kind of build up both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think the community is like the biggest thing, but like there's a community to actually like check out our videos and listen to the podcast and stuff. And then some of like the YouTube content we build off of the Twitch content. And like the conversation we're having right now, we wouldn't be talking about this if we weren't doing Twitch on the podcast.
No, because we wouldn't have anyone submitting this topic.
Yeah. And we wouldn't be streaming.
And speaking of submitting topics, if you want to submit your idea to the Shell of Conversation, you can do that in our Discord. You can tweet at us on Twitter at Tealfish Studio. You can comment on our Instagram. What is our Instagram?
Tealfish Studio.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at us go.
Look at us go.
Did I already say YouTube?
Yes.
Oh.
Did you say YouTube?
I don't know if I said YouTube, but you can comment on YouTube as well.
Yes.
And then we will add it to the Shell of Conversation.
I like being able to have like more of an organic conversation than try to plan something.
Yeah, because we tried that in the past and it was a disaster. Because we would end up like reshooting the same podcast multiple times, and then you forget like which version of the podcast you were discussing stuff in.
Like, did I say this already?
Yeah.
Did we cover that, or was that in the previous one?
It all starts to blur together, and you don't know what you talked about and what you need to talk about, and it just gets really, really messy.
It gets very confusing.
Yeah. So I like this version a lot better.
Yeah, this is a lot more organic. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Why were we re-recording the podcast so many times?
Because we messed up and we wanted to get it more on point, I guess.
More refined.
More refined, or something technical was wrong and we had to reshoot it.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of technical issues.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's just something that happens though with anything. Is just there's so many factors. There's something about to go wrong at like some point. You know?
Yeah. True story. Okay. Is that it?
I think so. We might have to revisit this one, and maybe sometime down the line we can think about stuff.
I like it. That was a good suggestion.
That's a very good suggestion.
So we're gonna do the topic and then maybe like an update, I think, for each podcast. So what's our update?
Stonks. So just briefly, like I don't understand the whole thing, but apparently a bunch of people on Reddit are kind of sticking it to the man right now by buying GameStop stonks. And I think it's just hilarious. I don't own any GameStop shares myself, but I think it's really interesting to watch unfold. And earlier I was like browsing on Reddit, and some people were purchasing like billboards and stuff like that. It's just really fun. It's
plane.
Yeah. Like somebody, because I guess one of the like stock like apps kind of limited people's buying abilities. So somebody rented like a plane with a banner that was basically like what is this, like I forget what it was worded as, like
suck my nuts.
Yeah, it was like suck my nuts, and it was like targeted to this business, and they flew it around their headquarters. It's just very entertaining to read and keep up on, but good for them for trying to stick it to the man.
Yeah.
I just hope nobody gets burned in the process. Like
I feel like somebody's gonna get burned.
I feel like somebody is, but hopefully people are investing wisely and not using money that they can't afford to lose.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's true. It's been interesting. Interesting start of the year.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else new?
I don't know.
Stitch's ear is rolling up.
Oh yeah, her ear is starting to heal. It's getting very wrinkly though, but that's what they said was going to happen.
Compared to her other ear. It's so tiny. Poor kitty cat.
But she seems to be leaving it alone, so it's finally healing.
Yeah.
I'm just glad she doesn't need to go get surgery. She's an old lady. She didn't, like, I think she had her dental thing done like a year and a half ago, and she was kind of out of it for a while after that, because they put her under to
the anesthesia is just, that's the scary thing with the pets.
So luckily she's doing better.
That's good. Anything else?
Madison's still being Madison.
Yep. Still kicking.
Yeah, I mean, that's about...
We've been playing a ton of GTA lately. That's been fun.
GTA 5. When are we going to get an announcement for GTA 6? Probably...
Never?
Probably never at this point, because they're re-releasing GTA 5 for the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. So, what is that? Crossing 3-4 generations of consoles now with this one game? Come on, Rockstar, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They're milking this one good.
Yeah. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, I mean, it is kind of broke.
No, I mean, it's a good game. It's just flooded with griefers, though.
Well, modders are everywhere.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But I don't think they care to fix it. People are still shelling out money for GTA Online, so I don't think they're going to release 6 anytime soon.
I mean, there's rumors, though.
There's always rumors. There's probably rumors the day after 5 came out. Oh, speaking of rumors, there are rumors of, well, Valve did confirm they're working on new games, so I wonder when we're going to start to hear about those, and if any of them maybe tie to Half-Life.
I think they will. I hope.
I'm just disappointed that they released Half-Life Alyx just to VR.
Only VR, yeah.
Because I don't think I can do VR.
I think I would vomit.
I get motion sickness, and I don't think I could handle it. Like I love the idea of VR, but my body's like, hell no. So if they ever did like a version that was not VR, I'd play that. I love Half-Life, but I don't think they're gonna, because they want to sell their what is it? Not their Oculus. They're like Valve VR thing that's like $1,000. It's nuts. Like their thing is so expensive.
I'd like to try VR, but I would want to try it before purchasing it because I don't know. I don't think I would do well. I get nauseous playing Minecraft. So.
And Raft.
Yeah. Raft hasn't been as bad. I think if I went back to playing it now, though, I think I had to like get used to it or something.
Yeah, probably. Gotta get your sea legs.
Yeah, I guess. But Minecraft made me way more nauseous.
I don't know
why. Like, Raft makes sense because the boat's rocking, but like I don't understand why I got nauseous playing Minecraft. Maybe I was just not
feeling good that day.
Feeling good or something. I don't know. It was weird. I was like, oh God, what's happening?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's that's about it.
Yeah, that's about a wrap.
This one is a lot longer than the last one.
I think it just is going to depend on the topic.
Well, maybe we'll have one that's like 10 minutes long one day.
Maybe
one that's 10 hours.
We don't know what the shell of conversation is going to bring.
What if we have a 24-hour podcast? They have 24 hours streams. Let's have a first 24-hour podcast.
That's ridiculous.
I don't think I have anything to talk about for that long.
No. We were thinking about at one point streaming podcasts, but then we decided not to. I don't remember why though. Why? Do you remember why?
I just feel like it's easier to do a podcast like this.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's a lot of distractions if you try to podcast with a live audience.
Yeah, that's true. And following the chat.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I mean, maybe one day we'll try it, but I think for right now, this is the way. This is the way. But you never know.
Also, like, it's kind of a niche audience. So, like, if you're talking to chat and it's recorded on a podcast and they don't follow you on Twitch, it might be weird for people listening.
Well, you would have to, like, make it in a way that would work for audiences that aren't familiar with Twitch. You have to keep them engaged in what's going on somehow.
Huh? You lost me.
Well,
get it.
That's why we're not doing it.
We're not doing it.
At least not right now.
We are gonna start trying to do a little bit more of a regular schedule and do more of our just chatting streams though, with our puzzles.
Crossword puzzles.
Yes, or Sudoku.
Yeah, we could do Sudoku.
That's kind of like a podcast-ish. Not really. It's just talking. It's just talking.
Just chatting.
Just chatting.
We're just chatting.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that wraps it up for this week.
That's a wrap.
Yeah. Thanks again, Odins, for the topic.
Thank you. P.S. Anything that is being put into that podcast suggestion, even if it's trolly, we're putting it in the shell of conversation. Just so you know.
You never know what you're going to get.
Never know. So, I think it will make for some very interesting conversations.
I think so too. So, we'll see what we grab next week.
Yeah. And where can they find us?
They can find us on Spotify. They can find us on Apple. They can find us on Apple. What the hell? We can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher, and of course, if you want to watch the video version, YouTube. Wow.
Apple.
Can I have an apple?
Can I have an apple?
I don't understand where that came from, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm losing it.
That's beautiful. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening and hanging out. Please go have an apple.
Oh, I'm dying.
And until next time, may your artistry always be unbounded. Bye.
Bye. I'm trying to hold it together so hard. Oh my god.
Apple.
Apple.